All right, we want to just take this time to welcome you to Unapologetically Male, Surviving Society's Stigmas, Standards, and Systems. And on today, we have our guest, Brother Michael Floyd. And Brother Michael, we want you to just kind of, just kind of share your story about, pretty much a little bit about yourself, your business, and just kind of a little bit background about yourself, just so we can get to know you real quick, and then we'll start to dive into some more questions when it comes to the topic that we're here to discuss.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to thank you both for bringing me on the show. First and foremost, so thank you for that. Thank you for having me. My name is Michael Foy. I'm a nonprofit, the Emily Wall Foundation. Also own CM Auto Detailing Company, as well as CM Carpet Cleaning Company as well. My main focus here now, and I own some real estate properties as well that I'm renovating, and, some other things. My main focus right now is being in the community, trying to help revitalize our city, try to help reduce the crime by offering resources uh, through the We Our Us organization. Um, I'm just leaving from the walk, so that's why we're meeting in my car. I didn't want to potentially be caught in traffic and miss, the opportunity to speak with you guys tonight. So excuse the background, but that's my main focus right now, trying to help reduce the crime by offering resources throughout the community, help with guys that may have a background. We still find them jobs in the city of Baltimore.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself, like what area you grew up. I always like to ask the famous high school question. What high school you went to, so we can get this out of the way.
The best high school in Maryland.
Which one was that?
Man, that's Carver, man. The best trade school ever. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm a proud poet alumni, so we run deep around these parts.
All right. Yeah, man.
But
I went to Carver, vocational technical.
What is that?
Yep. So that's where I went, Carver.
Okay, cool. So tell us a little bit about like your life, like how you grew up, like family. Just kind of give us a little background, some things that you might have to go through that you had to go through as an adult and as a young adult.
So I grew up in Northwest Baltimore, right in Belvedere and Park Heights. So right there is crime, drugs, all up and down there my entire life. However, I did not perceive myself to involve myself in that life or those aspects. However, I saw it. I saw death. I saw. I lost a lot of family members, and just recently, I lost my mom in 2019, 2 days before Mother's Day.
Wow.
And then in 2006, my brother got killed, shot in the back of his head, left in the alley on Spalding. So I grew up with that, at a young age. I'm 34, I'll be 35 this year. So you can imagine of dealing with that over the course of years. So.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if Dwayne, I don't know if we lost him there. He might be frozen.
Yeah, I think it's Dwayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. It's me. That was me.
You were frozen for a quick second.
Yeah, it was you.
All right, my bad. All right, you were saying just kind of how you grew up. You lost your brother. You said your mother, and how far apart was it that you lost them?
So my mom passed 2 years ago, May 10th,
Okay.
2019. My brother got killed August 26, 2006.
Got you. So definitely a lot of loss, trauma.
Yeah.
Any go ahead, Millie. I'll let you know.
I mean, I lost my brother in a similar fashion about 3 years after that, and just coping with that, years later. How do you find yourself coping with that? Because that's never something you truly leave. But how do you cope with that, and how does that influence your work and what you want to do now?
Um, well, dealing with my brother's death, the way I cope, the main way that I coped with that was therapy. Talking to somebody else about how I felt, how angry I was that somebody had the balls to kill my brother over something so minor. In my mind, it's minor to me of why it happened. Um, it hurt, but I had to let that out. And right after, I want to say right before my mom passed, is when it finally hit me like, just let it go, just let it be. It's going to be all right. And then my mom passed. It was like, oh man, it just
Mhm.
reignited all those feelings all over again. You know, and so it really, like you said, Emilio, it doesn't go away. It just subsides for a while, and you just
Mhm.
talk about it and talk about it. And now that I have children, they ask about their grandmother and then their
Mhm.
uncle. They never had a chance to meet their uncle, but I talk about them. But they have the chance to meet their grandmother, so they always want to talk about Nana. And and one of the things I was able to do, I was able to acquire my mother's home, so they still want
Mhm.
to go play in the yard and things like that. So that brings memories back, and going into their old room and things like that. So I mean, it's just something you gotta talk about. You gotta talk about it. You gotta deal with it. If you have to cry, let it out. I still break down time to time, and it's no shame in my game, and I'm okay with that.
That's definitely good that you acknowledge that, because many times we sometimes we internalize things and just kind of hold it in, and not realizing that we need those outlets to kind of help us to process through. But I'm glad you realized that. All right, I need to talk to somebody, and you got to the point where you were kind of able to say, all right, I got to move on. It might still hurt, but I understand that I have the tools. I know what to do to kind of keep it moving forward.
Do you guys
Absolutely.
feel in 2021 where we're definitely a generation after our predecessors that almost absolutely never went to therapy? Do you
Mhm.
feel like as a black male community we're getting better at going to seek help and speak about that? What do y'all think on that?
Go
Mike,
ahead, Dwayne.
oh, I feel as though um, we we have been more active in seeking out therapy, and just kind of I think because it's become more awareness has been brought to the forefront, and allowing us to see, like, all right, it's not as
Hmm.
bad as it's been portrayed to be. Yes, you might have to tell your business. Yes, you might got to process through some things, but understanding that when we get that information out, it helps us to heal. And because our predecessors didn't get some of that things out, is the reason why we still struggle with some of the things we struggle with, because we're carrying, it's almost like we're carrying their stuff and our stuff on top of their stuff, which is multiplied. And because we are, because we get to the point where we become aware and we become more knowledgeable, we're able to kind of help ourselves heal. And we're really healing from years of hurt and trauma that's been placed on them. And we're breaking those curses just by acknowledging that it affects us. So I definitely think we are becoming more aware, and in tune with our emotions and our feelings and our and how they play a part in our day-to-day actions.
Yeah, I totally have to agree with you on that. I think we're getting to a point where we are comfortable with talking about it. I think years ago, even back when I was in high school, I think if you would have talked about, oh man, I cried, doing this or
Mhm.
that, you would have get frowned upon,
Right.
or growing up. It's always toughen up, be strong. You know, where was it when we were told that it's okay? And I think we're just getting used to that now and say, hey, it's okay to let it out. Because now it's hitting home for a lot of people, a lot of different backgrounds, white,
Mhm.
black. Crime is going everywhere now, and people are realizing that, hey, I'm hurting.
Absolutely.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, you two are Baltimore natives. I grew up in New York, but it seems culturally, we as black men have shared the same experiences. Um, but it has always been my goal and my dream to one day get back home and do something there, but I haven't been able to. So I've had to make, my impact here. Mike, you said you're out there and I know you're working and you're providing jobs. And I mean, the work you do, I need to bring my car over there one day. But I don't want the shame that I'm going to get. but, uh,
Nah,
but
that's all right.
the work you're doing out there, what are you seeing out there with our youth and our young people and our brothers out there, and just the trauma that they're facing with all of the violence, and how are you working through that?
I see hope. All right. So I see the young people who need hope. And so we the hope. So if they see us, the better, the hope, then guess what? They can see it in themselves, because I see myself in them, because I used to be them. I used to hang out on those corners. I used to hang out, you know, out there with those guys. So I can see myself in them, and those brothers that are with us can see themselves in them, then that is how we able to pull them out. So we know they're hurting. We know some of them are afraid. Some of them tell us, hey, man, my background, I don't know if I can get a job. Yes, you can. Because we got people that's going to cut that red tape for you. So it's up to you whether you want to do it. But we know they're hurting. We can clearly see it. And a lot of people are committing these felonious acts out of fear. They're so scared. I gotta kill this guy. I'm beefing with this guy. You gotta die. We can't squash this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And so a lot of it's out of fear of not wanting to be clowned as well. So it's a total different beast out there. But providing jobs and opportunities, it just doesn't rely on me. It's a bunch of us brothers who are banded together to really help these young people, men and women. It's just not about the young men, because women are involved as well. We don't talk about it as much, but the women are just much as involved as the men.
Absolutely, 100% agree. Definitely.
Yeah, with the prior to the pandemic, one of the places that I sought my guidance and communal therapy from was the barbershop. And when that kind of went away from us, where did you brothers find any kind of relief, or were you able to find any kind of relief or substitution somewhere? And how did that pandemic factor in your social community between other black males and other black people?
For me, family, my children, I literally took off of working, when the pandemic hit, because I felt, I've worked a long time. I said, I'm gonna spend some more time with kids. I'm gonna spend more time at home. And it was one of the best decisions I could have ever made. My children were used to daddy being home all the time, and help them with school. And my twins are about to turn 4, preschool in them and teaching them at home. I'm learning new stuff, new ways that my oldest, who's about to turn 8 this year, the way they're learning in school, it's totally different the way we learn. I'm messaging the teacher, hey, what is this y'all working on? And how do you complete these problems? I'm like, I don't know this. Look, get the calculator out.
Right.
So but it's so rewarding. So I really put that time in the family and the community as well. Really give time to get back out to the community and really invest, because clearly you can see the effectiveness of men in the community, and we need more black men in the community.
Absolutely. D, how about you? How did the pandemic help you?
Well, man, I ain't gonna lie. The pandemic was rough for me. Starting off, but like Mike said, it gave me more time to spend with my kids. Whereas normally it was kind of like, all right, I drop them off at the bus stop. I go do the work. I go to work, come home. Then we do our little eating routine. So we home all day, every day. And it really it really touched your patience, and really touched like, oh, I really wanted to be a parent. I really got 3 kids, and because daycare closed, so I had 3 kids under 10, and I was running around. They at the beginning, they ain't really have it together, so they was trying to figure out, all right, are they giving them work? Do we got to print off work? So I'm up here, making up my own schedule. Like, this is what we're gonna do, just to try to give them some sense of normalcy, and just kind of pour into them. It really, just kind of that time, just kind of relax, pour into them, and just kind of spend more time with them. Really, and for me, the gym was my outlet. So the gym was closed, so I had to work out in the house. It just became everything was in the house. So eventually I had to just kind of, all right, let me go take some walks by myself because for my sanity. And I definitely, I upped my sessions with my therapist probably during the pandemic. I was going maybe from once a month to maybe twice a month just to, so I could be in a clear state of mind for my family and for my kids and making sure that, I'm the best person that I could be for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's so dope. Both things that you guys touched on, in the sense of you hear a lot about the parents that are going through the pandemic stuff, but I think communally we really, because, and this is unfortunately one of those stigmas was passed down from previous generations. A lot of the males aren't as involved, right? But we're breaking those stigmas clearly here, as I shared a similar story with you guys, and I think it's just so dope to hear that you guys were doing the same thing, buckling down in the pandemic and being with the kids all day long, and just hearing about the way in which you did in a matter of self-care is something so underrated for brothers, because oftentimes we have negative outlets versus finding and creating a positive outlet as you did. So that's definitely commendable. Definitely commendable on that one, man. And you also, Mike, touched on something about getting out in the community and just taking off from work. And that's something I always talk about as far as community organizing, that there isn't a lot of funding and jobs for community organizing, where there used to be a point where brothers like us could actually make our 9 to 5 working in the community. What are some ways that you guys have been able to be innovative to kind of overcome that? And specifically you, Mike, how have you been able to kind of overcome that, even though you have all of these different businesses and jobs and things going on? How are you able to make time to get in the street and do what you do?
Um, you make time for what you want to make time for. Um, Even if it's an hour, for instance, on Mondays we walk from maybe 6 o'clock to 7:30, right, or 6 or 7. Um, and like today, I'll give you an example. Got up, you know, had to go get my second COVID shot today. Then did the gym. It should have been the other way around, where gym and then the COVID shot, but um, I did it the other way around, and did a little bit of work on one of the houses, and then the walk and this here. So you make time for what you want to make time for.
And when you say the walk, what exactly is, like, what exactly did that
The We
entail?
Are Us.
Okay, tell us about it.
Absolutely. So the We Are Us organization, yep. So the We Are Us organization, we do a walk every Monday and Saturday. But today we did one from 6 to 7:30, through Park Heights, Spalding, Queensbury. Just walk in the neighborhoods where the guys hang out on corners and just offering them resources. Let them know we love them. We're fortunate that we've been doing this going on 2 years, where we haven't had any issues in the community. No crime, nobody giving us no pushback. They really want opportunities. So we come with opportunities. So we do it every Monday. Not in Park Heights, but we do different neighborhoods throughout the city: East Baltimore, West Baltimore, North and South Baltimore. Does not matter at all.
And how do we get connected to follow, or spread the word, to participate? How do we get connected? Where you guys located? How do we find you?
Yeah. So IG, Facebook, We Are Us, and then you can go onto the website weareusmovement.org.
We our So WEOUR us.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, definitely. And have you guys received any, like, support from the city or anything like that thus far? Or what is it, and if there was anything else, what is it that you guys may need, to keep it going, and maybe improve with, or not improve, but to add on?
All we need is men to show up. That's it. That's how this works. We need men to show up because in order for the young men to want to latch on, they need to see other men already on. So if they see us, they say, I see myself in them. Hey, come on with us. Let's get you off the corner. Let's get you a job. So they have to see more of us together. They see more of us together, then they're more willing to say, hey fellas, come on, when we try this, when we try this way, since our way isn't working. So that's all we need is men to show up. So we don't really look for support from the city. We don't need it.
Got you. I do have a question. Like when you're out and doing a community walk, like has there been any like younger brothers, the younger men like that came up to you that expressed like desire to to kind of do what y'all doing, or to or just to kind of be involved in different ways and different things like that? And how has those experiences kind of impacted you to kind of want to do more?
Yeah, absolutely. We get a lot of young men that want to join. Like I said, some of them are scared to join, but then they'll come in and say, you know what, I'll walk with y'all on a Monday or a Saturday. I'll show up.
Hmm.
And once they show up and they see us together, they're hooked. They're hooked. And it's not something they have to do. We just want to show them there is a better way than you hanging on this corner. You may not make it home tonight hanging on this corner, but we can guarantee you're gonna make it home if you walk with us. Because now you don't have to worry about all the threats that you're dealing with on the corner.
I think it's definitely a beautiful and much needed movement, and
Absolutely.
I'm definitely gonna look to participate myself. Um, what are some other things in addition to this that you're doing, Mike, that we don't know about, that we need to get the word out about? What are some other things that you're doing in addition to this?
So I'm working on one of the main focus right now. I'm working on my foundation, the nonprofit. Um, I have an 8,000 square foot lot where we every Saturday we're providing free food and produce at 5218 Florence Avenue. That's in Baltimore, Maryland, 21215. It's a big lot. You can't miss it. We got 7 tables that line up along the sidewalk, and it's filled with free food. It's also a 24-hour food pantry there. We're also about to add a refrigerator and deep freezer to be there as well. That'll have frozen foods in there, fresh vegetables that need to remain cold. That'll be in the refrigerator as well. Accessible 24/7 to whomever may need it in the city of
Wow,
Baltimore. All
That's
free.
dope.
wow, that's powerful, man.
Absolutely.
That's
On,
powerful.
on average, how many families would you say you see on a regular basis?
Um, on Saturdays, we can
Hmm.
feed anywhere between 25 and 50 families. Because some, like right now, the Muslim brothers are fasting, so there are Muslim brothers that come and may get items to break their fast with, like fruits and yogurt and
Hmm.
vegetables, stuff like that. But there, like last week, we had ham, we had chicken, we had fruit, we had lettuce, we had salad, we had canned goods, we had yogurt, dairy products. So, and then the food, like I said, the food pantry keep the canned goods, peanut butter, syrup, things like that inside the food pantry.
And you said this is every Saturday that you're doing this, or is it every other Saturday, or every Saturday, or
Yep. So the free food giveaway, nope, every Saturday, every
every
Saturday
Saturday?
we provide the food, but the food pantry gets stocked every couple of days because it depends how much food is in there. We try to allow the food to all be taken before we refill it, so we're not just pushing food in. Um, but the food giveaway is every Saturday, and the food pantry is open 24 hours a day.
And the food giveaway on Saturdays is what time again for me?
Uh, so we start at 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 a.m., and I want to say by before noon the food is gone
Okay.
because
And the
you're able to drive up the street and go ahead.
no, go ahead, Mike.
So you're able to drive up. It's basically like a drive up. You drive up the street. We have bags, or if you want a box, you bring your own box, bring your own bag. Fill up, which take whatever you need. There's no limit. You want a whole section, you take the whole section, because you never want to put a limit on what's. You never know what somebody got going on in their household, so you never want to put a limit on what they can take. Now, if we have a line of 50 people, that's something different. But if you come in, it's first come first serve. Take what you need, you know, leave something for somebody else.
And are you in not in need, but are you taking, volunteers for that as well?
Absolutely. So anybody want to volunteer, just reach out to me. You can contact me via Facebook, Micheal Foy, or Facebook, Emily Wall Foundation, as well as Instagram, Emily Wall Foundation.
Emily Wall.
Yep, EMI. Yep, EMILIEWALL Foundation.
Okay.
So
Okay. Definitely. I'm definitely gonna spread the word, man, and definitely get involved myself. I've been trying to find somewhere to put, some energy into some other things that, I might not be doing myself. I could just show up and do my thing. So I definitely glad we had this conversation for sure.
Yeah, man. Just whenever you're ready, whenever you're free, just show up.
that's dope. That's dope. So so Mike, this is a mental health awareness, and what we because Emilio, did you have any more questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so this mental health awareness month. So if you could give one parting message to any African American male, any male in general, to encourage them during this month, what would you say?
If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. All right. There are a lot of Black therapists in Baltimore. Two of my favorite therapists, of course, is Jennifer Pope, Pope and Associates, and Rashad Mills. Both of them literally, I credit them for saving my life, because without them, I don't know what way I would have turned besides, utilizing my faith. They guided me and my children to help us know that, how to deal with death. Now we're grieving per se. Now my children have a workbook that they utilize, that goes credit to the therapist, because I didn't know that there was a workbook for grieving. I knew you cry when you grieve. I know you scream, you yell, you may punch, but I didn't know that working through a workbook of teaching the children, hey, what are the fun moments you should realize that you remember? What did you and this person do that you remember? What made you happy? What made you sad? And with those things, I think I've learned that that's the best thing I could have done, was to reach out to a therapist. That's the best thing. So reach out to a therapist if you have to. It is the best decision you could make about anything. I think we should talk to therapists on a regular anyway. It shouldn't have to be because somebody passed away. It shouldn't have to be because you're going through something. Even when you're having a good day, just call your therapist and say, you know what, I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day. I remember my therapist telling me, hey, you need to go check yourself in and get some of them happy pills. I was like, no, I don't think I need to do that, But to know that option, I'll be honest, to know that option was there for, for her to be transparent with me about it. I'm like, okay. And if I know that resource is available to me, then I can offer it to somebody else. Say, hey, listen, there are options for you, but definitely reach out to a therapist.
Absolutely. Thank you again. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Milo, you got anything?
No, sir. No, sir,
Okay.
man. I've been enlightened and I'm inspired, and I want to get back out there and get with the good brother, man. So
Absolutely.
So, man, I appreciate you both, man.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Mike, for consenting to do this interview. We definitely appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. Because, man, you seem like a busy man, with whatever, with everything that you got going on. So we definitely appreciate it. Definitely shout out your, I know you talked about it briefly. You did more about the nonprofit, but shout out your business. I know the mobile detailing, and you said carpet cleaning too?
Yep. So you got the carpet cleaning company, CM Mobile Detailing, CM Carpet Cleaning, CM Properties as well. Definitely come out and support the nonprofit Emily Wall Foundation. The lot is located at 5218 Florence Avenue. That's Florence. That's right here in Baltimore, 21215, right in Northwest Baltimore. Right up Park Heights and Belvedere. Right Turn Road, Park Heights, Belvedere, Haywood, Belvedere. It's easy to find. Or reach out to me. Instagram, Emily Wall Foundation. Facebook, Emily Wall Foundation. Or Micheal Foy on Facebook. Or if you reach out to Amelia or Dwayne, they can push you my way.
Absolutely.
Always looking for volunteers. So, absolutely.
All right. Thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you both for having me.